Right everybody, let's go over my top 10 tips for new players. And before going anywhere, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also information about what I'm going to discuss is written up in the description down below. So to give you a bit of a background, I've been playing this game since the beta. I've also been playing a month solidly since the release, and these tips will probably be relevant for the continuation of the year. So let's just get right into it. First of all, when it comes to basic arena strats, that's the most important thing. Do not look to rush to the bodok unless you have captured. Yes, you'll see at times there'll be certain champions that are able to pop things like shields, Sorcerer Supreme with the tome. You've got Hulk with the SP1, you've got as well the SP1 of Black Panther, and several other champions that are able to withstand great amount of damage. So they're able to rush the bodok, and you've probably seen things like that. But very early on, do not rush the bodok until you have captured. You will need to see captured first, and then you'll be able to go to the bodok to smash it. So many times I've seen that be the case. Also, Iron Legionnaires SP1 can allow you to travel and then smash the bodok and kind of get there quickly. But as I said, do not rush the bodok very early on. You need to learn to capture first and take enemies down. There's also several little things when it comes to arena strategies and the way that you play and how you route players in place using things like SP1s from the likes of Fists, Weaponed, Hulk, and as well Arc, Shield, Captain America. I said those things very slowly because I just want to make sure that I'm being as clear as possible about those. But I've probably put a video out about further or kind of expansive arena strategies and things to bear in mind. Like if you are in a 2 or 3v1 situation, you're going up against the Hulk and you're trying to capture, and you've got a really tight circle, which is a beauty point for our Hulk, especially with an SP1, maybe a Gamma Hammer, and as well with the Fists as well, can stunt and punch you out. Keep at least 2 people on the inside of the ring, but keep a ranged person outside of the ring. So it means you are capturing, you are putting the damage to the Hulk, but if needs be, you can rush in and as well take that capture, or at least keep capturing while your other allies get in, but also go and grab health. With people inside the ring, you can come outside, grab health, top up your health, and then come back in again. It's kind of good to be like that. But yes, do bear in mind to keep up the pressure and the momentum to take down enemies as well, to make sure that other enemies do not respawn back quickly. So yeah, keep up the process, keep up the pressure, keep range, but don't lose everybody. And also don't get punched out or knocked out of that circle. Number 2, building gear. Building gear is very specific to the way that you play and the way that you amplify certain things. With the additions of things like synergies, it's important to understand what you are building and how you're building it for whatever reason. I'll give you a good example. The champion Sorcerer Supreme as a champion that I love building further from Warrior, and especially I put more of an emphasis to do more damage with heavy attacks and as well light attacks and also special damage. And why that is so important, especially for me around heavy attacks, is a synergy that I have called War Mage's Mantra, which is right here, which is every 10 seconds gain a disciple stack, which gains +7 attack damage per disciple stack. So that's +70. My base weapon is something that amplifies heavy attack and also special power while aura is active. But also there's other synergies that interwork well with this, do allow for improvement of things like mystic power, and as well finally I've got one that improves on dash end do special damage. So this is all about building around a type of synergy, and that's a lot of the time what you might find yourself doing is building for that. There's also other champions, like with Hulk you might look to put stuff into health. In other cases it may be a case you're building around a synergy. One specific synergy with Hulk is one that means that when you go enraged, you heal back. And that is one of the best ones out there. And I'll probably do a further video on synergies of the game. But this is really the thing to say. Very early on, you might get some very kind of inadequate gear. A lot of the times when I'm building from newcomer to recruit, I end up just putting more emphasis on light attack power. It just means that I can just ramp up damage when I'm into close quarters fights. That's the main thing. I'm doing more damage, and it doesn't really matter because, let's face it, I'm going to out damage the enemy who may not know how to gear correctly. which is what I did pretty well with Black Panther and as well my Super Soldier, which is nearly at a point that it's Defender, but again, down to the fact that I've geared my champion so much in a way that I put it more emphasis on light attack and the recruit level stuff. It definitely needs to be up the levels now in order to pack more of a punch and also withstand a lot more damage. Next up, and when is the best time to use remnants? I do not spend at this moment remnants. You can see I've got 146 of 200. Why, you might ask? Well, it's just down to specific types of gear, and I find that if I'm adding this on, it's either going to be something amazing I pick up from Warrior or more of an emphasis around 3-star gear in Defender or 2-star gear being common but Defender tier as well. This means that I can look at some good gear and I can then invest in them at a point where it is at its most potent. Because if you're Warrior tier, you get a crate open, you get a good piece of gear, and you're like, right, I could spend some raw Celestial Remnants on this, and I can make it more powerful. The answer to this, or the kind of the conclusion we're coming to, is that would you prefer to do it then when it's Warrior, get something that's Defender tier with maybe some synergies and something that's unique, and go, right, well, now is a good time to spend it. And this is the reason that I'm kind of waiting until the next week to 2 weeks after I'm posted this video to do a opening to see what I get. And also, if I've got some epic stuff, will I as well spend my unrefined Celestial Remnants in the same way. Like, I'll probably do it on this tome in order to make it more substantial, but at the same time, if I get something good, will I then look to spend on some unrefined instead. Next up, and when to spend units. And number 4 on the list is when to save and spend units. What you want to spend the units on is totally up to you. I myself personally, because this deal is up at the moment, this epic bundle, I will look to be buying it for 2,500 units. Why? Because I have a lack of epic gear. I had some luck with some dailies, which you can get some epic gear from, but then other times I've then gone for a big drought of 2 to 3 weeks of not picking up anything. So it seems more logical for me, because I have a lack of epic gear, to go for some epic gear, and that is why I'm going to be getting this bundle. However though, the point of this is when you're looking to get crates, make sure you're spending when you are past Defender tier. It means that you get a chance to pick up something that is going to be an epic piece of gear, a 4-star piece of gear, and it makes you all excited. But do bear in mind there is an incredibly low percentage at 1.55% of getting something that could be helpful to you. So I would say that's the time to spend when you're Defender tier, and as well consider your options. My 2,500 units are going to go for that bundle to see what I get, and as well improve my epic pieces of gear across all of my champions. Next up, and training. Number 5 on our list is training. If you aren't very good with specific types of weaponry, or say you've got something for the first time and you don't really know what you're doing with it, go to Deathmatch and train out. These weapons and all the kind of like details and the kind of stats are kind of reduced down, so it means that this is more of a fairer interaction, and this is down to the players, their prowess, their ability to play. So if you want to train and you want to not sacrifice your battle rating, make sure to go to Deathmatch. And it's very quick, it's very snappy, and as well you get ISO 9. You also get those components you need in order to improve your champions. And I think that this is a great little thing just to kind of like figure out how you're playing, whether or not you're playing well, understand the specials of the champion, and just understand the rotations as well. And also just so that you're not sacrificing your battle rating. That's kind of the most crucial thing as well. And this goes hand in hand with tip number 6, and that is understanding weaponry. It is very much on and up to the community as to how they feel about different types of weapons, and do bear in mind new weapons will be added to the game with different types of special attacks. When you go to your weapons section and you scroll down to the bottom, you'll be given the various different types of abilities that you can do, special attack abilities you can do from different types of weaponry. Like for Storm and for so many others that have ranged, it is good to understand the extent of one is lightning, one is blizzard. With Sorcerer Supreme here, one is tome and one is orb. And the way that I just feel that personally, down to a playing standpoint, how you play with a different type of weapon is going to be very important to you. I've put in the description just some quick snappy things about what is good for whatever champion. If you want to do huge amounts of SP3 beam damage, then go for Iron Legionnaire. But counteracting something like that will be the likes of Hulk with the fists, which he can punch Iron Man out by simply just doing that. The same thing with the SP3, when he launches into the air, comes down, and everyone gets crushed down to the ground and just knocked out. That can just counteract it. The same way that if you are able to root in place with Web Warrior, that is immensely helpful. You've also got targeting with Sorcerer Supreme's Orb on the SP3. You can shield with the SP3 of the Tome of Sorcerer Supreme. So it's going to give you a quick thing in my own personal opinion on the matter. Hulk's fists outweigh or are better for me than the Gamma Hammer. Iron Legionnaire, the drones are better because you can lock in place champions. The heavy attack does a lot of damage by sending out those little kind of like missile projectile drone things. With Spider-Man, the web shooters I just find quite ineffective. So no, the Gatling web shooters I find ineffective. The standard web shooters are amazing. I just personal opinion. There's more opportunities to root in place and ramp up damage. Cap's Iron Shield or Arc Shield is better because of the hit down, the crush down, the stuns and stuff like that. You've also got Storm's Lightning Staff, which outweighs the damage side of things. If you want to do the Blizzard Wand, then you're doing slowing, cold damage, which allows you to build certain champions a certain way. Black Panther, I prefer the Spear to the Claws. But this is the crucial thing. You've got to build champions around certain things. If there's special damage that could be amplified or unique synergies that benefit you doing certain things with the champion, and you like doing that and you feel that you can extend the stun time or you can extend the damage that you do from things like Hulk's SP1 with using the fists, then that's what you've got to do. You've got to be intelligent enough to create teams and gear, mainly the gear side of things, around these particular weaponry. Number 7 on the list is complete daily objectives. There's loads of different events, stuff that goes on, whether or not it's a specific type of event, unique event, but as well the daily side of things. And I try and make sure I smash out as much dailies as possible, which you can see here, a lot of them are just kind of claimed and done, because they have to be done. That's the most important thing. You can actually find them in the timed section, so when you kind of click on them, they come up with your dailies, go do them, and the events which will be there. They're equal to milestones. You can grab units from them, so make sure to kind of do the milestones, the daily tasks and stuff. Even if you're just logging in to do that, that's still something that allows you to get that progression and keep going. Next up, and as much as possible, avoid doing randoms. So for example, I could just click right here, and I'm not going to do it to go for a fight to like do randoms. At a point where you hit defender tier, you more than likely will come and interact with bots. And why this is such a bad thing, or seen as such a bad thing, is that bots aren't smart. And because they aren't smart, they don't know the issues and the problems of the win-to-loss gains of battle rating when it comes to them being the ones that are basically lose you the game, and you're then frustrated about it. So my top tips for this is make friends with people. Go to things like the Discord, the Marvel Realm of Champions Discord. There's looking for group in there, so you're able to find people to play with at certain levels. There's going to be various different ways in game, even with the global chat, but watch out, because global chat has just the most unfunny edgelords that I don't know why they exist in this world, but they do. In any case, watch out for that. You can block and report people that are being edgy, being bad people for this community, or people that are just, they make a new account just to troll, so just block them and report them. But there are going to be people out there that are interested to play together with other people, so make sure to kind of say, you know, I'm so-and-so sorcerer, and wanting a group, the same way that somebody just put that in chat just then. Use it as an opportunity. Make friends, group up with people. When people ask to party, you know, just accept to go and just play a few games. Make sure to just do as much as possible to be a good player, learn from mistakes and get better. Tip number 9, use Stronghold and as well as team deathmatches as an opportunity to keep your battle rating intact. If you have just got in to Defender, or at least gone up quite high, and you're like, hey, I actually need a lot more things like components, or I need ISO, maybe even a little bit of gold, then it gives you an option of going to that and grabbing that, so that when you come back to your champions, that you've got them to the highest level possible for their different rank. I'll give you a good example. So at the moment, I've been working a little bit on my Iron Legionnaire. I kind of got it up to close and just over to Defender, but I keep them dropping back because it's not strong enough. It needs to be getting that full 330 environment. The same thing with my other champions. I've got some others that are quite close, but adding those extra levels increases that punch. more so for that. Level 21. Why would I go over level 21 into defender tier battles when I could put 9 more levels on and then be more competitive and as well have that specific type of advantage? Also, this is quite important when it comes to certain gearing. Certain gear requires you to be a certain level in order to use. And that is one of the key things. You can see here, requires level 22 to equip. So therefore, I'd be better in order to put that defender gear on to be level 22 to use that gear. So increase your levels, be more competitive, and also it'd be a bit more fairer for you to actually smash open the enemy, smash the enemy. And the final tip is going to be listen to players. A lot of the time when I'm fighting and also when people are fighting with me, it's important to communicate as much as possible. If you're not on comms, which is something that is an advisable thing, you can say like, oh, I'm just putting off my SP3. Let's focus fire this Sorcerer Supreme. Let's focus fire this champion. It's important to listen to one another. And if one fight doesn't go well, then it's important just to give that feedback, just to say, okay, well, let's try and focus a tank. Let's try and avoid a tank. Make sure to space out when a Hulk is near, because let's face it, when a Hulk does that big smash, and same thing with that delightful super soldier with the arc shield, you will then be all pummeled and then it's game over. So it's important to keep spacing, understand, listen to one another, and improve in the next fight, as otherwise it's just not going to be good. There we go, that's been my top 10 tips for new players to understand in their point of advancing in this game. There's a lot more videos going to be posted out this week, so stay tuned to the channel with post notifications on all, subscribe, check out social media, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye for now.